Hello, hello, and welcome to Simulacra Studios presents Dungeons and Dragons Acquisitions Incorporated. I am your Dungeon Master Scott, and here are my lovely players.
Hello, my name is Matthew. I play Lowin, the Verdan Life Cleric of Lythander, and I'm also the Cartographer of the group.
Hi, I'm Ray. I'm playing Inisalia, who is your everyday female Tiefling Paladin, and also the Secretarian of our group.
Hey there, I'm John Sanderson. I'm playing Ilbreyan Jenkins, the Loremonger of the group.
And my name is Nigel. I am playing Rynford Gimaldree Tunslayer, the rock gnome wizard, kitten, of the group, and the group's Documancer.
The official policy of Simulacra Studios is that cats can do whatever they want. They can interfere with the stream in any way they so desire.
Speaking of which,
because they are cats.
Your familiar Zazgamoth will be played by your kitten today.
My kitten Maggie.
So when last we left our stalwart heroes, they were broiling away after some interpersonal conflict regarding the voted upon plan to ice a former baddie that they had run into, a dark wizard by the name of Hubor Gronshoop. They are tentatively once again working with said evil wizard to acquire a magical tome that they need. He has essentially contracted them to secure a wizard's tower that he wishes to use for unknown magical nefarious purposes. Thanks to the wheeling and dealing of Ilbreyan with his dark patron, they managed to get all the fiends who lived there out of the tower before they had to deal with them in any sort of more visceral way. And now they have been planning to pull the old double cross once they get Hober at the tower and basically beat him up and take his stuff.
Hey, that's an adventurer's life, man.
Yeah, so you guys definitely have the, if you haven't already, have the advantage of a long rest.
Yay.
And I will remind you that while you do have a time limit regarding what you need the book for, i.e. the infiltration of the Horn Enclave, which is about a 10-day away at this point, Hober himself did not give you a deadline or a time limit on this. He just said, do it, when you need to do it. So it's at this point, I'll remind you, it's actually very interesting because the last time you guys dealt with this guy was the episode that just got released. So viewers, you've seen that a while ago, but for us, it was Tuesday. But something I was reminded of when watching that episode is that you guys made a kind of a tenant arrangement with Wizzy and Talantha 3 coins that should you ever go up against this guy, they would very much like to get in on that action. And that's just something I'd like to remind you of before we get into play.
Well,
How did we agree to that?
It was just kind of a handshake deal once you guys had dealt with the lighthouse, and you guys were essentially talking like, yeah, we might, if we run into this guy, we'll get you in on the action.
Did we actually shake hands?
Yeah, you actually shook hands. I mean, it was part of the general.
it wasn't camaraderie.
It wasn't a binding contract, but it was an agreement amongst workshop associates.
If we shook hands, then I'm gonna have to classify that as a binding contract.
Oh, very well then.
There is a certain degree of that that I have to uphold as the Documancer.
True enough.
Because agreements are not strictly written.
True. So we can say that Rynford is going over his Documancer leisure and finds a notation about that agreement. Oh, sweet baby.
And then he pushes his glasses up as far as they can go.
Back into his head.
No. I was reviewing some paperwork, and yeah, we did agree that Talantha and the surviving members of her crew are to get in on this. So if we are having voted, getting prepped to do this guy dirty, we need to reach out to them. We made an agreement.
Yeah, I guess, hate to say the more the merrier, but they will be helpful.
Well, I can do that.
Well,
Also-
Talanta's, no, that's, oh, I'm sorry, I was thinking of someone else.
We're still pretty low on potions, right? I don't think we've restocked.
No, I got a few.
Did we?
I don't.
I did not restock, I should
I have
say.
2 potions of greater healing right now.
Well, good for you.
I think we got some. I'm trying to remember where we got it from.
I'm just saying it would probably be a good thing to also have.
I have.
We got 2 potions of greater healing after our last incursion,
and I have 2 normal potions of healing.
as well as a dagger of venom. 5 arrows, plus 2 arrows, decorated with green flames. Great flames. And did I say an immovable rod?
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Rod of immobility. Yes, that's true. I had totally forgotten about the potions. Well, I would love to have one of those.
The graders?
Yes.
Sure.
That's a potion of greater healing.
Yes.
I will mark that down.
I have removed one from my.
Oh, and I recently read something that makes a great deal of sense. It's something I wasn't really familiar with, but apparently on Critical Role, they have a house rule that drinking a potion is a bonus action as opposed to a standard action. And that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Technically, it's like an item interaction, and that's an action. It's, okay, that's fine. Great. I'll take it.
But yeah, so I'm assuming that you guys are around your sort of planning conference table.
Yep. Whiteboard.
Mm-hmm.
Horse.
Anti-horse. We're very anti-horse here.
Horse.
And just to go over our ledgers and stuff as well. We do still have this feather token. It's a feather token. If we touch it to a boat or a ship, the vessel can't be moved by any means. I don't think this will be helpful here, but just one of those things to remember.
Well, let's see. Let's take stock. I've got the dagger of venom. I still have a potion of frost giant strength.
That would also be very useful. We could give that to Inisalia. That would be extremely useful when fighting such a potent individual.
Yeah. Do you want that, Inisalia?
Sure.
Okay. Potion of
mark that one.
necrotic resistance. I'd like to keep that just on the off chance that.
That would be very useful.
Well, no. If anyone's going, this guy's a necromancer. He's probably got more than a few direct damage spells that deal necrotic damage. So, whoever is going to be drawing his fire a lot, no. I'll give that to you as well, Inisalia. So you will be getting 1 potion of frost giant strength and 1 potion of necrotic resistance.
Let's try it. Okay, let me get that.
You'll have to look up. I think they're both an hour. I think once you take them, they're both an hour. So.
Yep, there we go.
He will probably have undead with him, which means I will be necessary, which also means he will probably be trying to get rid of me as quickly as possible.
Should you?
Very likely.
Pardon me. Should you take the necrotic resistance potion?
That's what I was thinking.
That's fine.
Okay, I will take the potion of necrotic resistance.
But yeah, Inisalia, I am going to insist that Inisalia gets the frost giant strength potion.
Absolutely.
I'm okay with that.
Oh yes, give it to me. I'd love to arm wrestle him. No, I'll be fine. Well, beyond that, I think that's most of everything. I suppose if there's anything else we want to try and obtain before we make the big move.
Well, let's reach out to Talantha and see if she can even get to where we are going.
All right. she was part of Acquisitions
She's part of
Incorporated, which is
Acquisitions Incorporated.
so I
And
should
she
be able to
is.
still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she is a secretarian, so that means she has her own thingy. So you can definitely use that to get in contact with her.
All right. Let me see if I can get this going again. It's
I'll
always a
cast
little
guidance on you.
finicky. All right.
You
That's
just
advantage.
need to get a new one.
Maybe I'm not sure how like the contracts work when it comes to these things.
Oh, you know how change requests go. It's like a rock rolling up a hill, really. It'll be next year before she gets a new one.
Got a 16.
I believe that makes it. So yeah, you sort of align the crystal with the stars, and a connection is made with Talantha. It says, "You got Talantha."
Oh, hi, Talantha. It's Inisalia. You know.
Oh yeah, hi Inisalia. How's it going?
It's going good. I actually wanted to reach out to you. So that thing that we said that we would definitely let you know when it was about to happen.
Oh, you're getting them?
That's the plan.
Cool. Where are you? I'll get Wizzy. Well. I mean, where are you? So we need to work on that.
Okay. Yeah. We are at this delightful tower, and she'll give like the coordinates basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like
with the ship.
near El Torel. It's like, ooh, okay. So we're in Waterdeep. So hold on. Let me get Wizzy because we're working in the head office for the time being. She says, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
And she goes over, and then you kind of hear the sound of Wizzy's voice, and says, "Hello, hello.
Hi.
Oh yeah,
Hi,
am I on
Wizzy.
speaker?
Hi. Yes, it's Inisalia.
Hi. So Talantha says you're getting the motherfucker.
Yes, it's go time.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so you're near El Torel, right?
Correct.
Cool, excellent. So you don't happen to be near like a teleportation circle or anything like that we might be able to use?
We didn't see anything like that in the
Does
tower.
does this thing have one?
From what you looked at, it definitely has magic along those lines. You haven't been able to determine whether or not it will function as a teleportation circle or not. You'd have to take a look at it again.
I meant our airship.
Oh, no. Your airship does not have a teleportation circle in it. But the
Give me
nexus on top of the tower, you think might work as a one.
I'll run up there, and take a look at it and see if I can get it to
All
work.
Right, just give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
One Arcana.
Hold on, we're checking on that right now.
Cool. All right, we're getting stuff ready.
Sorry, we'll put you on hold.
That's a 13.
It takes you a bit, but you are able. It's not a standard teleportation circle, but you are able to sort of determine the sigils that are worked into it that can activate its function as a teleportation circle.
I'm sitting there like, why is that rune there? That doesn't make any. Oh.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's basically if you will be able to give their sequence to them, and they'll presumably will be able to use that.
All right, I will use the Bindi to share that information with the rest of the team, and
Cool.
so Inisalia will know that.
All right, yeah. When you get that information, it's like, okay, all right, well that'll work. Little snare. I don't currently know that spell, but I can get a scroll. It's probably going to be kind of pricey, though.
Okay.
I mean, we really want to help you out on this, so...
Why don't we just fly to them? We're in a flying house.
It will take too long.
Yeah, we are on a
Keep as
deadline.
much- Yeah. Actually, hey, why don't we
could
just teleport them
probably
there, then teleport them
reimburse.
back?
I'm sorry, what?
Rynford, you could teleport to them, get them, and then the next day you come back and teleport here.
I suppose. Yeah, I could do that.
We could also just offer to go half on the scroll.
Okay.
I
What's
suppose
your
have the
ETA on acquisition of this scroll?
We can. There's one in the company stores, and it's not as bad as it could be. Employee rates and all that. It'll be about 3,000.
Can we wait a day?
I mean, this is your guys' operation. We can hang tight here if you need.
Wait. Okay, so you're in the head office.
Yes.
Okay. I can port there, and then I can gear us up and then pop back. So if you guys have a shopping list, let me know.
Oh, well, let me think.
Yeah, that'll probably be the best way to do this.
I am going to need all of our money.
Okay.
Like most of our money.
Yeah.
Well, you can also, I mean, well, it depends on how much money you guys brought with you, because most of your money, to the best of my understanding, is in the Horde person's bag, which can be accessed from HQ.
Yep.
Ah.
So you can
Well,
have
never mind
access
then.
to- Yeah, you can just get all our money.
That's fine. We trust Rynford. He's our buddy.
We currently have 7,347 and 50 gold.
Mute.
Right.
We
Yeah,
came to
this would have been
discuss
after we turn that off. I mean,
Yeah.
actually, it sounds like
Okay. All right.
yeah,
So are you going to be teleporting to Waterdeep?
Yes, I'll be teleporting to the head office. Inisalia, let him know that I'm coming.
And we'll keep everything.
Yeah,
prepped
so
and ready here.
Rynford's going to meet you guys and pick you up.
Okay. Let me just do a quick roll about teleport, just to see if there's any shenanigans.
Fine.
Oh boy.
I don't know how well I know the home office.
I mean, you've been there a
You've
couple
literally
of times.
been there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say you're.
If I'm casually acquainted.
Yeah,
at best.
seen casually is probably the best one. So I'll make that roll. It's a D100.
And you wind up in Bitopia?
I mean, what's a little bar tour? No big deal. It's fine.
Okay. I just have to think about this.
Uh-oh.
Then we never saw him again.
I come back with a robot arm.
Well, that's a look.
No, it's a third arm. Like
Right.
it's over his shoulder.
You got teleported to Cyberpunk 2077 world.
Ah, okay. That's how I know
Nice.
He's got like a cyber eye.
Gotta watch out, man. That essence score, you don't want it to go down.
that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what happens? Hold on, I need to do a roll real quick. You align the gears. You activate the symbol, the sigil, which does mean you are taking the whole. Are you taking the teleport device out of the orrery, or just taking the whole orrery?
Probably take the whole orrery because
I'm taking the whole orrery.
Okay, taking the whole orrery. Okay. You align it, and you're pretty sure you got it right. But in the last moment, there's this discharge of energy. And you wind up on the beach of Waterdeep Harbor, and you take 21 force damage.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
that was my spleen.
All right.
Well, as far as you guys know,
Yeah.
he just flips away. It's a little bit more energetic than normal. Well, actually, you guys aren't familiar with what it looks like from the other side.
True.
So he pops out of existence, and yeah, you are on the beach with your squeedly spooch hanging out.
Cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm immediately like hurt severely and wailing in pain, but managed to kind of pick myself up and dust myself off. Like everything feels like it doesn't fit together right, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and I, through a litany of gnomish curses, I will make my way towards Acquisitions Incorporated headquarters.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of get your way through the streets. You kind of get some looks from passersby, some guards. Luckily, you don't get waylaid by any ne'er-do-wells or bandits or the like. But eventually, you make it to the headquarters, and you show your documentation to the receptionist, and she has you led to kind of the basically the medical ward, since it's very clear that you're deeply fucked up. And she's like, you rest here. We'll tell your friends that you're here. Yeah, so you are eventually Talantha and Wizzy join you. She looks aghast at you. You've had some medical treatment, but she immediately lays on hands you, and you are restored of your damage.
You didn't have to do.
You're like, oh no, we need you up and running.
Thank you. Wow, that's different from when Inisalia does it.
You're like, yeah, my teachings are a bit more hands-on.
Direct.
Yes. It was very much like a chakra punch.
It's like, it doesn't have to be a soft touch. You can be like, heal!
Right.
I punch the wounds out of you.
Yes.
So did I hear right that you can take us there tomorrow?
Yes. My means of transport refreshes at dawn.
All right, cool. Well, we are getting ready to go. It's going to be me and Wizzy. We haven't hooked up with anybody else as far as a franchise or anything. We've been kind of doing I wouldn't say freelance work because we are still with the company, but, odd jobs here and there. So yeah. I mean, I guess if there's anything you need to do in the city, we can watch your back.
I think I need to talk to someone.
Okay. Do you need to talk to HR or something along those lines?
No. No. So someone more like you, but not you. A cleric. I'd like to talk to a cleric.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can definitely go to the Spires of the Morning. That's kind of their whole deal. We have some sort of minor officiants on staff, I believe, but I don't know exactly what you're needing.
I don't know either. I don't want to say absolution because I don't know if I've done anything wrong. But I want to know if I've done something wrong.
I mean, there's the boss, but that probably isn't a conversation you want to have with him.
No, no. I don't want to bother him with this.
I mean, I would suggest the Spires of the Morning. They have sort of their most robust staff for that sort of thing. But if you have a preference, there are all sorts of minor temples here in the city.
Yeah, let's, hang on, who's messaging me? Are these other places I could try to go to, Matt?
Oh yeah. I was really quickly. I was trying to do it without talking because you were in the middle of the conversation. There's the Spires of the Morning. There is the House of Wonder, which is a temple to Mistra, the mistress of magic. I'm trying to think of all the other churches that exist in this map because there's actually a really cool like Google-esque map of Waterdeep. Like you can search.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
I would probably of any of them, I would know about a temple to Mistra.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's where I think I will go.
There's a
Yeah.
couple others, but that's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense for Rynford, the goddess of magic. Yeah. She says, they have moonrise services that I think you can probably attend to. I think that's what they've got going on tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Do I have to go to services to talk to someone?
I don't know. I don't. That's not my church, but that's when the priests will be there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just stay here and get ready, rest up. Thank you for the
Oh yeah,
stuff.
sure. No, absolutely. Is there anything like? Can we do any shopping for you? Can we help get ready for anything?
Healing potions. We're a little dry, so if you can just pick up a sample pack or something, that'd be awesome.
Sure. I'll see what we can do. We can work with the office here to get our hands on some stuff.
There would have been one thing that Lowin would have like written down for you to see if you could find it, if it's in the company store or something. Actually, a potion of invulnerability.
I will hand the shopping list over to them.
Just let me know how many potions are you talking about here?
Just for the one I want, just one.
Yeah, but like healing potions.
I'd say probably one greater for each of us.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
And there is one thing that I would like to look into. I would actually like to see if they have in the stores Elven Chain. Probably not, but
Never
I'd
know.
ask.
Yeah, they don't. They don't tend to have like armor and weapons aren't really kind of the things that they deal in. They deal more things. The company stores have more like potions and
consumable scrolls.
Consumables. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And Nigel, just in case, just for your edification, there's also a temple to Agma, which is the god of knowledge. If you whatever you want to think is more appropriate to the character.
I think Mistra is more appropriate.
Okay.
Okay, so all told, you are able to get 4 potions of greater healing and a potion of invulnerability for 2,300 gold.
Okay.
We got that.
So that'll take care of itself. Okay, so back at the tower, so Rynford disappears. And what are you guys doing in the meantime?
Gonna be at least a day before he comes back. Augury won't help me because it's not 30 minutes out. I think actually he will take time, really a lot of time to pray and sort of fast and really cleanse himself and try to remove a lot of the anger and resentment and really try to reconcile his decisions with this because he knows he's taking a big step.
Okay.
So I'll be doing that for like the next 24 to 48 hours.
All right. Anybody else trying to do something during this time?
Inisalia is probably going to be just kind of like buffing, like prepping her armor as much as she can, getting the dents out of her shield, just like prepping and drills because it's relaxing. At some point, she does want to like kind of grab a moment with Lowin, but
okay. What about Ilby? Is Ilby up to anything?
I think actually Ilby is. I think he's actually like polishing up some of these gems and like we got some gems and some like wearable jewelry on our last thing, which we'd want to sell.
Yeah.
The idea is, I think that's sort of a thing he does as kind of a relaxing slash like getting my mind off of potential death, and so he's like very engrossed in this right now. But every now and then he'll probably look up at it and then kind of look at Inisalia while she's working and be like, this would look good on you. Just saying.
It's pretty. It seems expensive though.
Well, I would say that it's okay to have expensive things, especially if you'd like to communicate that we're very successful. Of course, we could also get a lot of money out of it. So yeah.
I mean, I did get some nice ones inlaid in the armor, so that was kind of nice.
Okay, so you wanted to have a quick moment with Lowin?
Yeah, basically
Yeah,
she
you
just
can-
kind of wants to like catch him in the hall before he's like in between his breaks at some point.
Yeah, he
Just like-
comes out. He's not wearing his armor. He's actually just basically got pants on. So you actually see like how like lanky he is. Like you realize it's definitely like that awkward teenage type here where you're really like your proportions aren't exactly fit perfectly yet, but he's still tall and lean. And he's like, and he's got his holy symbol around. And he's like, Inisalia?
Hey, quick, how are you doing after that whole blow up thing?
That is what I'm having to think through and pray for while Rynford's gone. With him being not around, maybe I can have a little peace of mind and think through my decisions.
Okay.
He was not entirely wrong in some of his criticism of me.
He is tactless, but he was trying to express his concern from a place of caring, even if he did it in a very mean.
I don't think it was a place of true caring, and that's actually what concerns me about him. I think he cares more about being right than any sort of personal feelings he may have for me or us.
I mean,
But
he definitely
regardless-
cares about being right, but
Yes,
I did talk with him a bit after that, and he definitely wants you to not have some of the same mistakes he experienced. So I
He
do
looks
believe
very
it's from.
he looks very perplexed when you say that.
Yeah, she's kind of just as like. So I'm not exactly sure what his experiences are, but that leads me to believe that he's doing this out of actual caring, as backwards as that may be. So
Hmm.
I don't think he did it the right way, and personally, I don't believe you need to become so cynical and jaded to stop having faith and trust and hope in others.
No,
But
that is not what I'm worried about. That's not what gets me. Though I do have doubts about my course of action because of our personal safety, as well as realizing that we are doing something what a brigand does. We are not meeting him square on any sort of even battlefield, like you meet me here and I meet you there, and we're going to have this out. We are trying to take him by surprise. But I guess you have to do that when you deal with someone like him, because he would never operate with that level of honor.
true, and he's not exactly a honorable or nice person.
So I need to think and pray on this so that I can understand, so I may have complete confidence in my course of action.
Okay.
But I
I just-
appreciate you talking to him.
Yeah, no.
I talked to Ilby too. Oh, he talked to me really, but give him an extra hug. I think he needs it,
I'll do that.
because I think maybe if we can get through this and we can really help him out. And I don't know if he's ever really had hope in his life.
She'll give Lowin a hug.
And he'll
She'll try
hug
to
you
pick
back.
him up like she usually does. It doesn't go very far.
Well, actually, you still pick him up. He's still kind of scrawny, so he's not like heavy. He's just not tiny.
Oh, no, yeah, but before, like, she would pick you up in a bear hug, and you'd
Yeah.
be like dangling. Now you're a lot closer to the ground.
Yes.
All right. She'll go back into the room where she was with Ilby, and she'll just like randomly give him a hug.
What the? Yeah. Can I help you? Yes?
Good
Yes?
luck hug. I'm sorry, I should have asked.
It was
Sorry.
surprising. It was very nice when I realized what was happening.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, so back in Waterdeep, Rynford, you with Talantha and Lizzie, you guys are able to get your hands on those 5 potions, and they give you sort of the directions to where the Church of Mystra is. And they are, like I said, they're having a moonrise service. A lot of the services involves astronomy. Is kind of a key cornerstone of their worship. A lot to do with the stars, just sort of pointing out constellations, just sort of the observations of the celestial mechanics. So when you get there, it's essentially like this very large, magically constructed planetarium that instead of like projecting an image of the stars, it actually just mirrors what the stars are currently. And yeah, it's very kind of a loose. There's a couple clerics, a handful of worshippers, just kind of laying on pillows and divans and just looking up at the stars and making observations.
I look around for someone that looks priestly and or important.
Okay, yeah, you make your way to sort of like the more. It's like on a dais, but it still just has like big pillows and stuff. And there's a handful of people, and you see a man, he appears to be half-elven, leading a discussion of about on the nature of stars and what the various theories about what they could be. And there he's in the middle of talking about how stars not only can represent, the movements of the heavens, the correspondence of the gods, but they may be physical places that one could travel to. That there's some research that indicates that the space between the stars is somehow navigable if one only had the right magic or equipment. But he notices you and says, "Oh, but we have a new seeker to these sort of truths. What can I do for you?"
I don't know. Do you do confessions or
We offer counseling.
yes, that. I would like that.
Very well. This is not a high service. So if you are in need, I see you are of an arcane sort yourself. So if you have need, I can have a short conversation with you if that's what you need.
Yes, I would. Yes, please.
Very well. Let's. He stands up, sort of gets himself up off of his little cushion, and leads you sort of into a little side chamber. Where there's a little sort of ever-brewing pot of tea, and he pours you a glass and says, "What can I help you with?"
So, what follows is it's just high speed. Like gnomes. Like gnomish itself is a pretty high baud rate in terms of like information density.
Right.
And when gnomes speak and not gnomish, they have to kind of like work to not overwhelm other people. But in times of great stress or duress, that kind of ratchets back up. And yeah, so It is just a mile a minute, barely has time to breathe. Just info dump of what has been going on in terms of finding the orrery, of seeing things that make him question what he knew before, and of this feeling of, and I'll actually switch back into first person for this. And through it all, I'm losing myself. But I'm finding myself. It's me, but it's worse. It's the worst that I've ever been, and it's never been this bad before. And I'm doing and saying things that I've only ever thought before. But now I'm doing them, and I've always hated myself, but I really, really hate myself now, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm going crazy. Maybe I am. I don't know what's going on, and I'm scared, and I can't talk to these people because they're my friends, and I think I hurt them, and I don't want to, but part of me does, and I don't know where that stops and I start, or if it's all just me.
Okay. Well, I mean, that is a lot. It sounds like all of this stuff that you've been doing, these forces that you've been interacting with, in addition to, the stress that comes from an adventuring life, it definitely seems like there's something weighing upon you. And when I say something, I don't just mean stress or trauma or any of the things that might come about. I think this orrery that you're talking about, it clearly is a very powerful magical device that has unknown properties and unthinkable origins. So I think you are right in your approximation that something is affecting you. Mistra, Our Lady of Mysteries, she is not one who concerns herself with the rightness or wrongness of actions. She cares about the laws of magic. And would you have described to him the sort of the postulate that this orrery is connected to the far realm?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like, and the far realm is a bane of those laws of magic. It is outside. It is against the weave. It is against the order of nature. And it's against the order of divinity. So I think that you are dealing with powerful and dangerous magic. And as far as responsibility, that's something you have to take into account. How much is this influence to blame for the things that you do not like about what you've said and done? How much is it your responsibility for letting that magic affect you? These are the questions that I think you should be asking yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. It feels good to just talk to somebody.
Oftentimes, voicing the problem is the first big step in addressing it.
I have to be getting back. I have to get ready and help them. So I am going to do that now.
We are always open to those who wrestle with the mysteries of the arcane.
Do you have do I owe tithe or a fee for your time?
No, no. I think Mistra through me appreciates being kept in the know regarding the forces that you're dealing with. And I think all that I would ask in terms of recompense is that even if you're not a religious man, if you find this burden too great for you, consider reaching out to her.
How do I do that?
When you say you have a cleric with you, asking his assistance in a soulful prayer. He may not worship the Lady of Mysteries, but clerics tend to know the forms, the rites and the rituals that all gods appreciate, at least at a base level. And it need not even be something so formal. If you find yourself in need, she can be there for you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to go before I make a fool of myself. So thank you.
Very well. May her blessings be upon you.
I hope they are. And with that, I will head on back to HQ.
Okay. All right. So you need to wait until at least dawn before that activates. Anything back at the tower you guys want to be taking care of. I know you guys had talked about trying to work on something, a way of preventing him from either teleporting away or bringing in more dudes. If you have time, which you seem to do, that you might want to consider that if you want to do something about that.
But me actually,
Yes.
thank you for saying that, because I had to go look something up.
Mm-hmm. Right. So preventing him from teleporting. That will be difficult.
Is
Or
it
look up a
something that we
spell.
can use the runes upstairs that Rynford used to leave with?
I mean, we could look into that, but it might ruin the runes.
Yeah, unfortunately, Magic Circle won't work. He's not a specific type of creature. He's a gnome.
I can't tell if that's racist or not, but you're correct.
He is mortal.
Right. It has to be. Well, we assume he's mortal.
Well, he did not appear to be undead.
That's fair. That's right. One of you would have found out, right? One of you two.
Possibly, but I was
Ideally,
not looking.
but
Generally, undead are very obvious. Generally. But,
I was not specifically looking for that.
Mr. Vampire wasn't completely obvious, I'll have you know.
No, that's why I said mostly.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard to prevent. It's very hard and very expensive to sanctify an area to keep things in or out, and I think we have the time or the money to do so.
Well, you know what though? There might be a way. One second, actually. I want to look at the spell Silence.
Okay.
Ah.
Well, it depends on how teleportation works. I'm pretty sure it has a verbal component.
It is a verbal component.
Specifically just verbal?
Just verbal.
Gotcha.
But I think you cast it on an area, not a person.
Correct. So, I believe that one of us has that ritual. I think it's a ritual.
It's possible. Yeah. I could learn it, and then I could cast it as a ritual. But let me see. What about? Do you know counterspell?
No, far beyond our ken, I believe.
Okay. So out of play, it's level 3, so it's
Yeah.
possible for think. Yeah, but he would only have one of those. Like Rynford would only have like one slot or something like that.
Yeah.
Rynford has said in character that he has counterspell.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fair
So
enough.
I leave that to any of you if you think you can remember that in play.
Oh, right. He has mentioned that he can probably do that. Yes. So we have one chance. At least from that perspective. And it won't be guaranteed. I believe that it would still... There's a possibility. It would be a contest of wills.
Silence is possible. The biggest issue is if we are inside it, we are also affected by the silence. So any spell that we cast...
Well,
But Rynford could be flying around,
right.
hitting
Well,
him with spells.
if we're careful, who we want to be in there, which would probably be Inisalia, to be honest, we could keep it that way.
I mean, it is possible. What I can do is I will prepare the spell, and instead of preparing it as a ritual, I will just have it prepared to put down if I feel that if we got him in a good position. Because you can actually put it in up to 120 feet away from you,
Oh,
and it's a 20-foot square, so I could actually put it like on the far side of him or something.
right. That's an idea. Oh, and we have a rope.
Yes.
Oh, that elven rope, right?
We have the elven rope. That's right.
What elven rope?
Or not elven. Is it elven?
I thought
Well,
it was
the
elven.
rope of entanglement got ported away
Oh,
by
yeah,
the
that's gone.
Illithid.
Oh, it did.
Because we
Illithid
use that.
Oh.
We use that to great effect against the Illithid. He was very upset.
Yes, that's true. Well.
But I will prepare silence. I can prepare that. I think that is one of the things I can do. If it comes down to it.
Okay. So, unless anyone has anything they want to do before the dawn comes and the device reactivates, we'll say, I'll go ahead and make another roll. And that is a 100. So it works flawlessly when you teleport back into the office.
Oh, I thought that was really bad. When you said 100, I was like,
Nope, literally rolled a 100. So yeah.
Yay!
or was it 0?
There's no way I can fuck with you on that. But yeah, so Rynford, Wizzy, and Talantha come into sort of the opening, the lobby of your office building via teleportation.
And we are probably just getting up with breakfast. Like that's probably what happens. Oh, excellent. We can make you a few extra plates if you all need something.
Yeah, they dig in and they seem ready and raring to go.
I'm going to just how to do this as sneakily as I can. I'm going to come up behind Lowin and just like tug on his robes.
Yes.
Can we talk?
Yes. If yeah, he'll make sure everyone's taken care of because it's his day to do breakfast. I think probably.
Sure.
He probably does it every day. And he follows you to wherever you want to go.
I figure we've got probably an unoccupied conference room somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely, like a little office or something.
Yeah.
He's not wearing. Just so you know, he's not. He's probably not wearing his armor or has his weapons on him because he's inside, and we have not fully gotten everything ready.
Rynford is probably decked out.
Yeah.
Rynford doesn't look like he slept.
Oh.
Just big dark circles under his eyes, and just everything looks rumpled. Like even the things that shouldn't be rumpleable look rumpled.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. I have no excuse.
Yeah, he sits down when you say that. Like he was expecting more of an argument, and then he gets kind of deflated. Thank you for saying that. I accept your apology, and I will forgive you.
You don't have to. It's okay.
Fortunately, we have a lot to do, and if we are successful, it is quite possible that this will be the last time I can speak with you. So, I want to say, I forgive you.
What?
It's possible. He could kill one of us.
Oh. You said if we are successful.
I mean, we could be successful, and he could kill one of us. Sorry, I wasn't speaking.
Oh. I mean, maybe if it was just the four of us. But now we've got Talantha and Wizzy. Come on.
Your words pierced me, but not entirely in a bad way. I had to do a lot of thinking while you were gone. And I know that some of the things you said were said in a form of caring and concern.
I guess. I mean, yeah, but that's not how you talk to your friends. That's not how I should talk to you. I'm scared that I am losing myself. I think that the Orrery is doing something to me.
He looks very concerned. In what way?
You know, the little thoughts that you have that are silly and stupid and don't make any sense. And they just pop into your head. And you can just push them away. It's getting harder for me to do that.
And you think it's the Orrery?
I've lived long enough to know who I am, to know what I am, and I'm not always happy with it. But I've never done something like that before. And it got me thinking, and ever since I started using the Orrery, I noticed the pattern. And it's taking a lot to just I never have trouble with words. And I can barely talk right now.
Then you need to deattune to it. You need to cut yourself off from it. It is not worth your soul.
But we need it. It's saved our lives.
I'm not saying we shouldn't use it, but for now, so that we know that you are right and that we can confirm that it has an undue influence on you, you need to deattune to it. You can't use it today anyways to teleport.
Well, not to teleport, but it does a lot of other stuff. It's very useful in combat.
No, you are the master of the Ornery right now, so this is what I'm telling you that you should probably do. But if we make it through and we do what we need to do, you definitely need to deattune to it for a while. Let us, one of us, carry the burden if necessary.
Okay. Okay.
But I also want... Oh, go ahead.
I will deattune to it once we are done with the fight.
All right. But I'm going to say this to you. You were right. I do act with a lot of conviction and righteousness, and that I can see having very dire consequences for us and others.
But your heart's in the right place. And you are guided by something, by your faith, that gives you strength, and it gives you purpose. And I know that you don't do that because you're naive and young. I tell that to myself because I don't want to think. I tell that to myself. And I know that I'm wrong.
I sometimes wonder what I would be like without it. But regardless of what happens, we all voted and we all are taking responsibility, but I know that I pushed for this, and whatever comes will be on me.
It'll be on all of us. We had our chance to say our piece, and we took a vote.
It's true. He gets up, and then he comes over, and he basically bends down and kisses your head.
I burst into tears.
Aww.
Like I try really hard not to, but
Yeah.
it's just, it's ugly gnome face, ugly crying.
Yeah, ugly crying, and he holds you. He realizes that this has hit stronger than he was even expecting, and so he just lets you cry. And
It's just snot
yeah.
all in your robes. But yeah, after a good solid 10 minutes, just pulls away. Just I'm gonna go wash up.
Yes.
And we are going to murder the fuck out of a necromancer.
Excellent. I agree with this. I like it. I like this
Okay
idea.
then.
So you will
Yeah.
come back, finish breakfast, and go get ready.
Okay. So yeah, you guys trudge up the tower. Are you guys going to be having the battle office at ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yep.
so it will be floating with its weapons out. Essentially, you can't unless you want to have it just be there and activate it, which will take some time to start attacking. It will be very present in the sky.
How long would you say it takes to activate? Like a few rounds, or like an hour? Or...
I would say that it'll probably be 2 rounds before from hitting go to being able to fire.
I think maybe we should not have it be so. Unless we could spin it. We could say, oh, we had it open before, we were going to attack the devils, and well, there we go.
No,
Also-
I think we should have it at the ready. We should
Right.
have it in reserve. Now with Tarantha, I forgot her name.
Talantha.
Talantha and Wizzy, we have enough backup that I think we may be able to handle it ourselves without bringing the cannon online. Because if that cannon fires, we have complications. Because it will maybe take parts of this tower out as well as us.
True, but we could freestyle it, I think.
Rynford, have you memorized? Have you prepared counterspell?
Yes.
Good. Me and Ilby have got some countermeasures for his spellcasting and potentially him teleporting away. So I would reserve that if he starts casting and it looks like he's going to teleport himself away, you definitely need to keep him here.
So I've only got 2 shots of that level spell. And that's some of my most... Those are some of my biggest guns.
I know.
So I can do that twice, but then I got nothing else that potent.
I forgot. Go ahead, Inisalia.
Do we think sleep might work at all? I can do that.
We do have to beat them up first.
That's fair.
I would reserve yours for your smiting, and we're going to need to do a lot of damage. But Rynford, we found a potion of flying.
Oh, all right.
I have also memorized silence, so I may throw that down in a specific area if he is starting to cast a lot of spells.
It's not a bad idea. And then if Inisalia or our good friend Two Coins here could get into a wrestling match, wizards are good at many things, but not wrestling. That's for sure.
Was it our barbarian? I forgot her name.
Oh, that's true.
Mazira.
Just
Mazira.
dogpile on him, just jump on him and just be like, give him a head bop.
I will say it'll make it a little tight up there.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of room. Like, I seem to recall the top of the tower not being terribly wide.
Actually, if we want, we can stay. Some of us can stay back down in the hallway. Because if we're all just sitting there when he arrives, he may get very suspicious, and we need him to fully commit to being here. At least long, because you have to put the thing in. He'll probably come send troops through and send himself, and then we've got to remove it so he can't leave. Can't use it to leave.
Well, and maybe we could use it to make sure that the troops don't keep coming.
Yes.
Would be
So
ideal.
I can be up top. I'll have drunk the potion. That lasts for what, an hour? I can be armored up as well, and maybe one other person with me.
Well, I can also be there because I don't have to be visible.
Mm.
Woo! Whoop! He kind of disappears. And then... yeah, to do that. Well, I'm sorry. He has to hide underneath the table, and then whoo! It has to be a little dark, actually. So there's that.
Well, actually, you need to be there to sell the story.
Yeah, we need to have another person here. Too many of us, he gets tipped off. Only me, he gets tipped off.
Okay, well, sure.
All right.
Okay. So you guys are heading up to the top of the tower. You guys should have control of Wizzy, Talantha, and your barbarian.
Okay, cool. We'll bring them down here.
We definitely have to hide those two.
Yep.
I think everybody who's not going to be up top should be...
Some mechanical notes.
Yep.
Yes.
Wizzy uses the stats of a mage, as per the mage monster stat.
Okay.
And Talantha uses the Berserker stats.
Okay.
But she has lay on hands as per a level 5 paladin.
Nice.
Actually can pull up monster stats right here.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would suggest
Mhm.
is, since you guys have 3 NPCs that you control, one of you sort of take control of one of them as far as the battle is concerned, and then the one behind can be responsible for firing the cannon if you guys bring that online.
Okay,
All right. Well, I'm already running Stoutman, so
that's fine. I will
somebody else
say
wants to.
Are we able to use our hirelings to set everything up for that, for firing the cannons?
Yeah, no, your crew will be doing the actual firing. I would just recommended that a PC handle like the rolling and the damage and all that stuff.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Okay, go.
Which it just, as per the battle balloon stats, is how that works. But that's
actually
what I
we
suggest.
have. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Which one's Wizzy?
Wizzy
imp?
is the thing that says Wizzy.
Wizzy.
He's. I want to be real clear. He's a mage.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 9th level spellcaster.
Yep.
Not as in he has 9th level spells. He has 5 level 5 spells. Good lord.
Yeah, he's actually pretty potent.
He is Haas. Okay, cool.
Ain't nothing.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking at his stats. Who wants to run him? Do you want?
I'll take one of whichever you prefer. I could do Talantha if you want.
Yeah, do Talantha. I've got Wizzy.
All right, so Berserker, got it.
Should be easy because you can actually. They're all in the SRD, so you can just pull their stats off of the Roll20.
Okay.
And do you want the battle balloon's weapon stats then?
Well,
Oh,
she's
got
running the
Stoutman.
barbarian.
Oh, that's right. Then I will do the battle balloon.
Okay. All right. So you guys are
I'm
up at the
actually
top of the
giving
tower.
her her spells.
Is this the representative? Is it Ilby, Rynford, and Inisalia up at the top of the tower?
Yeah. Well, I know. I thought
Unless-
Inisalia was going to be below. I thought was it going to be just me and Rynford?
Yeah, I think it was going to just be myself and
Okay. Ilby.
Ilby.
All right. I will move myself down. There we go.
Wizzy, when this gets rocking and rolling, it will have greater invisibility up.
Okay. All right. When are you guys doing this? You guys obviously Rynford, Talantha, and Wizzy showed up at around a little bit after dawn. When are you guys kicking this off? When are you guys putting the stone in the mystical art of infrastructure?
High noon.
Okay.
That's who's fair.
Sure.
Okay. So go ahead and just give me an Arcana check to put it in where it's going to be.
Would
I
you
assist?
mind helping me with that?
Let's say if I can assist, I will assist. So have advantage.
Ooh. 25.
25. Yeah, you arrange it, you put it where it needs to be, and this sort of semi-material, sort of translucent, mystical lattice work accepts it, and it starts to rotate and shift around and realign itself according to whatever instructions are within the stone. With a 25...
Also, real quick, before this begins, before I put in the stone,
Okay.
I will have cast mage armor, and I will have drunk my potion of flight.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a 25, you quickly realize that this calibration process is going incredibly slowly.
Crap.
And you realize that it probably won't finish until sometime after sunset.
I'm happy I did not announce I used my potion. I actually was going to use as my first action as the bonus action.
Well, I already said I did.
Well, if you let us know that Wizzy could cast and fly on you later.
Okay. Let me go ahead and burn.
Just
my
use
one
up. I'll
slot
just use
for
up one of his spell slots.
Mage armor. Yeah, I'll. Well, Arcana check. Ding. Everybody else knows that now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ooh,
Okay.
It's gonna be.
Oh boy. Well, you
Actually,
know,
and
go
on
ahead.
on a 25, since that was such a high roll, I'll let you know that it was never going to activate at any time other than after sunset. He was never going to step foot in here while the sun was in the sky.
Jerk.
That makes sense.
Still a
I will
jerk.
like
Hold on.
kick at some debris. It's like,
Can I make a
knew
religion check? Do I think he's a vampire?
Make a religion check if you want.
Give myself.
It's probably just because he has undead
Aesthetics.
minions.
Yeah.
Necromancy.
Yeah, maybe that's entirely possible.
Well, not all of them hate the sun.
Here comes the
Some.
sun. Do, 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 do.
Uh,
A 16?
You don't think he's a vampire. You think he's a necromancer, and he probably
And he
has
just has an
undead
aesthetic.
buddies. Yeah. Oh, no, he probably has undead minions who don't like
Oh.
the sun.
Okay, that's true.
And
Like
he's
shit,
not-
like shadows and shades and stuff like that.
Right.
Well,
I
you know
like
he had
to-
shadows, and he was fucking around with vampire stuff.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah.
it's within brand. So yeah, you guys
Okay.
know that.
Okay. Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, I spend 1 hour flying around, like just doing tricks and loops and all sorts of stuff.
It looks a lot of fun.
It really is.
So yeah, you guys have about 6 hours before the sunset.
cool. Let me
You
see.
know what? What if, actually, I think I'm going to start messing up the place a little bit to
8
make
hours.
make it look like a fight happened here.
Get
Okay.
some scorch marks going.
Yeah, like kind of just do some elaborate scorch
Creatures.
marks and things like that.
With my 1 hour of flight time, I will liberally use Firebolt
Yep.
to just scorch mark the place up.
Cool. I dig it.
Right.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna have Stoutman cast Aid,
Okay.
which lasts for 8 hours. I could do it on 3.
Yep.
So that is gonna be
What level?
It's level 2.
Okay, so it's just 5 extra hit points.
It's 5 extra hit points. It's gonna be on Lowin, Inisalia, and Talanthea, the cleric, since we're all down here anyway.
Okay.
And that way it's already done before battle.
Gotcha. Okay, so
I can remember
how
the
is
bard.
everyone? Well, so yeah, you're screwing up the place. You're doing good stuff. How are you spending your time between now and sunset?
Exactly sure. Don't have that. Don't have that.
I don't think
just
I have enough
being
time to start
impatient.
brewing.
Actually, let me look at
I guess just.
What's the latest office gossip?
Let's see. Let me think. Well, that's good. Yeah. Apparently, the latest office gossip. Talking with Talantha. She says that there was a dust-up between the C team and the B team recently. That
hell.
over the wildcard license, which a wildcard license is something given to a franchise that allows them to ignore all territory amongst the company and just do what they want wherever they want.
Oh,
With the full backing of the company.
With the full backing of the company. And it sounds like the
Whoa.
C team won that.
Well,
Wow.
I guess we
we
can
know-
expect them at any point.
I'm most impressed.
Wow.
That takes a lot of gall.
I don't know. I kind of want to get the extra planar card. I think that would be real neat.
Where would you want to go anyway?
Well, I have some ideas. Like, no, obviously Mount Celestia. That'd be cool.
I mean, I've seen the etchings. It looks very pretty, but really,
It's not really a
Maybe
place to do-
Mechanicus. Mechanicus could be a lot of fun.
The thing about the whole Celestia place is I feel like we'd all feel so good that we would forget about the whole business side of the things. You know?
You also eventually explode.
Oh, really?
If
That's
it's what I'm thinking.
That's awesome. I mean, terrible, but awesome.
You're just filled with
I've
so
only heard
much
stories
goodness.
of like, yeah, I've only heard stories of that if you're like in a really, really, really positively charged place.
Thought Mount Celestia was.
No.
What am I thinking of?
Mm.
Are you thinking of a buffet?
In 5th edition, everyone, they don't really have the positive and negative energy plane anymore. It
Thank
doesn't
God.
really exist.
They're ridiculous.
The Shadowfell kind of hits the negative energy plane, but it's
Mhm.
like, don't go there or you just get annihilated.
You're gonna have a bad time.
You have a very bad time. They've kind of replaced it with the Shadowfell and the
Feywild.
Feywild are kind of the night, like the habitable negative and positive planes.
Yeah, those are more interesting. All right, so is anyone going to be doing anything of note while you guys are waiting?
30 minutes, probably just as sun is setting. I'm going to ritually cast Augury.
Okay.
That's the Will Woe ability.
You think that this is going to be a very tough battle.
So it's Wheel and Woe.
Wheel and Woe. It is. This is going to be a very hard fight, and the outcome is not predetermined in any sense of the word.
Yeah, it is not a focal point of. It's a focal point of fate.
Mm-hmm.
Go one way or the other.
Okay. Rynford. So you're about 30 minutes out. Rynford, I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this magic? And therefore, would I have advantage on it because of my gnome brain?
It is magic.
Okay. So, really glad I have that. That was a 1.
Oof.
And that was a 19 total. So, yes, total 19.
Okay, noted. Okay. So the sun sets. Make sure everyone is where they are in roll 20.
Yep.
And as the sun crosses the horizon, when the last rays of the sun leave the world.
Actually, I'm going to step back to the entrance.
Okay.
Right. I will step kind of there too.
The top of the tower, something very strange happens. You see, co-occupying the space, a very dingy, very obviously underground, just kind of layer, like it's not big. It's just a very small little maybe a couple rooms dungeon. Co-occupy space with the top of the tower. And in that space, there is a small horde of beings. Which come, hold on, let me, yeah. Which come into being.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I see the shadow
you
of a
see
horse.
oh no.
You see
No!
a group of 4 zombies. You see 2 shadows. You see a very obviously lesser vampiric being. And sitting upon a undead horse of a design that all of you are familiar with is Huber Gronshoop. And he just has his minions arrayed around him. Well, let me make sure. I need to move this for a second. Yeah. Well, he's on. His token's on there, but he's on top of the horse.
Yeah, that's right.
I see it. Yeah.
He's underneath it.
Yeah,
That's
he's
fine.
underneath it.
He's on a horse.
He's on a horse. And
Could I have a link with Rynford and to use via the
Sure.
helmet telepathy?
Yeah.
Already? Okay. Because I can just keep holding on the concentration.
And yeah, he is surrounded by his minions. You see, he is surrounded by a wall of force, as he was previously. He has that spell about him, and you recognize it for what it is. and he surveys the top of the tower atop his terrible, groan whinnying horse with his minions about him. And he looks down at Ilby and Rynford and says, like, well, I see you have liberated the tower for me. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, of course. And by the way, Scott, would there have been any prelude that would have given me enough time to do something before, like, everything set up into place? Like, would I have seen magical energy started to flow?
What would you want to do?
Just a simple spell that I prepare on myself. It's like it cast.
Yeah, so you could cast a spell on yourself if you so desired.
So yeah, basically I'm casting a spell upon myself. If it matters, I'm casting. Oh gosh, where is it? I don't know. I thought I have that. Huh. Never mind.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Right, cool.
He looks down to you and sort of he canters his terrible horse that just kind of shuffles around a little bit. Do you guys have the ship the base activated or not?
No.
Nope. Okay. He sort of turns around and is like, you too have a lair.
Well, of course. I mean, we're well-to-do businessmen after all.
Well, I can tell from here that it's an impressive piece of work.
Glad you think so.
So you have done well by our agreement. So why don't all of you and yours head back to your place of business, and I'll send one of my friends here with the book.
Well, surely you understand that doing the job now, we want to make sure that we get our payments before we relinquish the tower.
Need I remind you, it was you who broke our last agreement. I don't think this is an uncalled for stipulation.
I do, though. I mean, it's not to be offensive. It's more of maintaining a connection like this. Sure. We had our run-in the past, but we're here now, and we are what we are. We've all had our downsides, and yes, we have a history. But I think you have the tower. You could tell that we fought for it very much. It kind of shows all the blasted marks.
Yes. No, I'll certainly have to have my associates do some cleaning up, but yeah, such as it is. Fiends don't die easy. But as I said, I have what you want. I don't think it unreasonable to just get a little distance.
Show us the book.
He says, that's not unreasonable. And he goes into a sort of a messenger bag and opens it up, and with a firm mystical grip with a mage hand, just sort of floats it up so that you can see it. You can see the title. Says, here it be.
Very well. Looks like you do have it.
Puts
in
it
your
back.
head, Rynford, you hear Lowin go, can you get to the stone so he can't just walk back through the portal?
Scott, when I inserted the stone, did I get a sense of it being mobile or difficult to remove? Do I think I could mage hand the stone out?
Yeah, you could try, and you could definitely. You're not certain, you don't think it would be just a simple matter. You might have to apply some magical jiggery pokery to it, but you think that you could pull it out with a mage hand, yes.
Okay. I'm just checking the range on that one. Is our thing two-way?
Yes.
Crap, I don't have mage hand.
Really? I thought you used it at one point in time.
I may have replaced it a long time ago.
Z has it. If I can see.
Well, he's not. He's downstairs.
It's not
Yeah.
up.
So yeah, is our thing two-way?
Yes.
Okay. not without raising suspicion.
He's invisible.
What?
He has greater invisibility on him right now.
Who are you talking about?
Wizzy.
Well, and by the way, while we're doing this, because I imagine we're doing this, I'd be like, well, all right. So maybe first I should probably give you an idea for what we went through.
Then yeah, go ahead and do it.
And basically he's going to just kind of make a story about the devils that were
Epic.
there. And yeah, very epic.
Okay, give me a
So
deception
Wizzy
check.
is currently greater invisibility, which means he can cast while and he won't break invisibility.
Okay.
And he's going to mage hand the stone out of there.
I have a 15.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, give me. Well, he doesn't have Arcana because he's a name, but yeah, the equivalent of an Arcana roll.
Oh, what? Wizzy?
Yeah, Wizzy.
Yeah, he is. He's a mage. He's got Arcana.
I'm aware. Just make that roll for me then.
Okay. He got a 25.
25. Okay. So when, just to set the stage here, when they came through, that co-occupation ended. So there's no other
Okay.
space here. It's just them at the top of the tower currently. But so yeah, Wizzy is able to mystically unseat that gem and pull it to him. It doesn't seem like anything has been. Does not seem it has been noticed.
Okay.
Very well.
But he says, so he's listening to your tale. It's like, oh, that does. Hold on, let me take a look at him real quick.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, like me and Lowin aren't up there because we were grievously injured and
Hey, they're healing. They're still
He says,
resting.
that does sound very, very harrowing indeed. So you certainly would want to get to a place of safety. Yes.
Certainly. But of course, we'll have to go collect our things. Scott, while I'm doing this, what I would like to also do is like kind of observe the floor. Does the floor how thick is the stone floor? Is
The
it
stone
really thick?
floor is pretty thick. This is a fairly sturdy tower. It's very small. It's a very small tower, but it seems to be well built and like you can tell also like mystically reinforced.
Right. Fair. Okay.
We're having adventuring parties on the reg come through.
Yeah. Adventuring party.
So I think Wizzy was the one who was captured and brainwashed by this guy.
Yes, he is.
I think Wizzy, now that he's got the stone and he's like seeing this dude, I think he may, if you're cool with it, Scott, I think Wizzy may start things off.
Yeah, that's fine. Wizzy would start things off unless he told specifically not to.
Problem is he's invisible right in front of him, and he's got
And
fireball.
he knows fireball.
And he knows
Yes.
fireball.
That's fair. I mean,
Okay.
the shield of force will not do anything for it, but that's okay.
Yeah,
that
but
horse.
Well,
unfortunately, he doesn't have dispel magic, so he can't get rid of the wall of force.
the wall of force will stop. It stops physical damage and actually will not stop magical damage.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to need is for everyone to roll initiative for me, please.
Okay.
Woo!
I've got initiative for everyone except the four of you right now, so
Okay,
don't worry
cool.
about anybody else.
Sure.
Gotcha. Come on, baby.
All right. Not bad.
Not bad. I'll take it.
15.
When you're ready, Scott.
Yeah, let me know.
All right, hold on. 15 for Inisalia.
We're doing it, guys. We're finally doing it.
Ilby, what'd you get?
I got 18.
18, not bad.
Yeah.
Rynford?
Got an 11.
11. And Lowin.
12.
Big ol' 1, 2. Gotcha. All right. All right.
Also, I need to put my dog out real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and take care of it.
Let me get.
Oh, and Wizzy goes first. So yeah.
Good for him.
Well, I was going to ask if he got surprised on them because they didn't know he was there.
Let's see if they get surprised. Who gets surprise on him?
Okay.
Because that will be a thing.
Yep.
Well, it's not like they can fucking do anything about it.
Well, the issue is he's also invisible, so they can't counterspell him because he doesn't know he's being casted upon.
That is true. Does greater invisibility have anything to do with surprise, like any specific surprise mechanics?
When you are actively hiding and stuff like that and being stealthy, you get advantage. That's what invisibility does.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, this is a fireball, so it's a reaction. I am going to make a roll for Huber. He's the only one who would matter. To see if he is surprised by this.
Okay, sure.
What is Wizzy's spell save?
Spell save for Mr. Wizzywig here. Wow, you would think it'd be right here. Oh, there it is. DC 14 right now.
DC 14. Okay.
Bad.
And if he counterspells, you can actually counterspell a counterspell.
I'm aware.
Not kidding.
Okay. He is surprised.
Yay! I'm going to roll that beautiful beam footage.
So you say it's a 14?
Yeah, DC 14 deck save for everyone involved.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 D20.
He'll cast that bitch at level 5. He has one level 5 slot, and he's gonna milk it for all it's worth.
He real pissed.
He real pissed.
I'm actually okay with him ruining any subtlety here.
If anybody's going to do it.
I was like...
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Okay. Huber saves.
Okay.
So he takes 15 damage.
Yep, and if you fail, take 30.
Yeah, I'll deal with the rest of them.
Actually, I'm sorry, it's actually 36.
36.
It's weird. It does the first level, and then it...
Okay, gotcha. So he takes 18.
Takes 18.
Which
everyone else
is easier to calculate. So
Yep.
1, and then 81 damage. Not a bad hit. Okay, so the war horse
No.
saves.
No.
Stupid horse.
Crazy ass horse.
Horse.
He
Never
takes
again.
18. But he is very fucked up. That is one fucked up horse.
Good.
The zombies save.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What they rolled, everyone else rolled like a 19 or something
Yeah.
silly.
Well, more dead acrobats.
More dead acrobats. He greases up their tendons
Yeah.
before he gets in there.
Amazing.
The shadows do not.
Oh, the Ravagers are about to get smoked.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Those are really scary.
The shadows just done get burnt.
Yep, shadows are very nasty for their CR.
And the vampire spawn. She gets a nice +3 to this roll. Absolutely saves.
Vampire.
Okay, so that is 18. All right, but yeah, a lot of fire gets. Let me see if they have any. Yeah, a lot of fire gets thrown around here. Okay, so that is that. And that takes care of a good chunk of them.
Yep.
And that's Ilby's go.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, you just saw a flash of like Wizzy finish the spell and it
Yeah.
immediately disappears.
Hey, Scott, what does he say? Does he say anything?
He's awash with flame.
Mm-hmm.
And he bares his teeth and says, "So be it."
Oh, actually, I also meant Wizzy. Does Wizzy just
Wizzy
Does
says?
he,
No,
does he-
Wizzy is like cold, like 'cause he's maintaining
Yeah.
his invisibility.
Mhm.
No, he's just cold, no shits. He is like icing this motherfucker without a word.
Right. Okay, fair enough. So Ilby kind of looking at it, like, first of all, he's almost surprised. I'd like to think that we're still on edge because we're like, all right,
Yeah.
something's gonna happen at any moment and we're gonna do something. But then Ilby's like, good idea, and he's gonna actually put it out, and then a bead of flame comes out right after them. I'm gonna also
Another
cast Fireball.
fireball.
Yeah,
Oh, you're casting fireball. Oh shit!
I have a second fireball.
Why wouldn't you?
All right.
Yeah, I will aim it, of course, to me and Wizzy out of the range and make sure they're in range.
Okay.
Where is Rynford? Is he underneath Wizzy?
Rynford is by Wizzy's side.
Oh, okay. Well, they're so small, so they can probably fit in the same
Yeah.
space. Whatever. Tiny people. All right. So the DC.
I'm just gonna maneuver some dudes so it makes. Yeah, there we go.
Easier to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my DC, I believe. One second. Let me just confirm. Because I realized my DC is 15.
Okay.
So.
Well, the zombies are getting smoked. Like, just they have 4 hit points left, and that's just
fair.
gonna happen.
That's fair.
Not gonna do their undead resilience.
Hold
I
on.
mean, maybe I don't know if fire works for that. Could be.
Can't remember if it's fire and radiant or not.
Me neither. All right. So.
Are they actually zombies?
Yeah, they're zombies.
Simbobs. All right, so I guess I need to figure out how much damage they're taking before.
Yeah,
You do that.
let me know the damage, please.
Sure. So, 10, 15.
Hellfire.
Oh, kitty.
30 damage.
Okay.
If they don't succeed.
If they don't succeed, gotcha. The horse is the zombies and the horse are definitely smoked.
Yes. See you in hell, horse.
Just to be completely fair, undead fortitude does mean that they get a chance, even after they save to take half damage. If they are reduced to 0 hit points, the zombies all make a con save, unless the damage is radiant or from a crit. And on a success, they only drop to 1 hit point. They don't die.
Yep.
What's the con save?
DC of 5 plus the damage taken.
So wouldn't that be 35?
Yeah, they don't make it.
Yeah.
Even with the 21 that they just rolled, they don't
Just
make it.
Yep. Yep.
I want to make sure this is all above the board. I don't want anyone
That's fair.
furiously writing an email in to let us know. But if you are furiously writing an email in, thank you for
Yeah, we
watching
appreciate
the
it.
show.
The zombies were my
But yeah,
favorite part of the fight.
the vampire spawn takes some hits. Hubor seems to be warding off the flames quite significantly.
And then after that, after I'm just kind of standing there like, oh no, and I'm gonna start running down the stairs. I'm gonna go as far down the stairs as I can.
That's our,
All right, and Inisalia, it's
it
your
is
go.
lying. I was like that's our cue.
I'm gonna go running up the stairs because I assume I heard 2 fireballs come off. So,
All right, so
Alright,
keep in
that's
mind
30.
the way up is this ladder.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
Then
So
I'm. How much movement does it take for me to go down the ladder?
10,
I'll say 5 feet.
15.
Oh, okay, sure. So I'll slide down quickly, and I'll just go over here and be like, "They're coming! They're coming! He's not
Okay.
dead somehow."
Oh wait, you said the way down. Okay, so the way up is still the stairs right here.
No, this is the way up.
Okay, yeah. So
The
5,
ladder's the way up,
10,
basically.
15 to get the. They're 5 feet blocks or 10 feet.
I believe. Hold on, let me look at how.
They should be 5.
Okay.
Where's that?
Yeah, they're 5.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
5.
Yeah.
10, 15, and that should have me up right there where
Mhm.
Wizzy is.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Cool. And then I got that's 4. No, I didn't want to move Wizzy. Sorry. I'll
That's
move
okay.
No,
Wizzy
well,
back.
actually, I was just gonna move Wizzy over anyways because
Yeah,
that
that's fair.
would make sense that he wasn't directly on the stairs.
All right, that is my max movement.
Okay.
But I would like to go ahead since I'm not in melee range,
You
but
could
I
double
have
move.
what?
You could double move if you want to get up on them, but that's fine.
I was gonna throw javelins.
Okay.
You can throw a javelin.
I have javelins, damn it! I'm all filled up with them again. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try. I'm assuming the vampire looks the worst.
Well, vampire looks pretty messed up. Yeah.
All right. We're see if my
We lost your audio, sweetie.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Cut up.
we'll see if I can reactivate my ancient javelin powers. And she pulls one out and just throws it straight ahead. And no, that's a 12, so probably not.
Doubly not because it pings against the wall of force.
Ah!
Uh,
She does that. She's like, ah!
Oh, I thought did you go after who'd you go after?
The vampire.
Oh.
The
vampire
one
has a
right
wall
in front of me.
force?
the wall of force is 10 feet around him.
Ooh.
Guys,
Noted.
luckily you've thrown spells at him. Lowin, it's your go.
Ooh, spell time then. All right. I'm gonna run up to. I'm gonna run up to here. That's one. Yeah, I have enough movement. And once I see, now that I know, I've seen the fireballs go off and everything. Then he needs to make a. I'll just do that. F you, big man.
Stupid ball.
I'm gonna guiding bolt him,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration as a level 2. See if I get that crit. Nope. I'm assuming 23 hit him.
It does.
Okay. He's gonna take. Nope. I don't need that. Come on. Wow, that was not the best damage. He takes 15 radiant damage.
Okay.
And the next attack period has an advantage against him.
Basically, the next attack roll, right?
Next attack roll period. Doesn't have to be melee.
All right.
Okay. Rynford, it's your go.
Oh, I should probably do the vampire.
Okay. How bad does the vampire look?
The vampire looks pretty messed up, but it does still look like it's got some kicking left in it.
I am going to I just shout out, "Fuck it!" and I'm going to cast max level sleep on Grand Shoop.
Okay.
So an additional 2d8 for each slot above first level, which means that I am doing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9d8.
He's going to counterspell.
Cool.
That'll do it.
Gotta make him burn those spell slots.
Yep.
So yeah, you see Rynford go through the motions, and then it fizzles, and he's like, "Ha! I still made you burn one."
Just as planned.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So that's my turn, and I will stay where I am.
Okay. It is the vampire spawn's go. The vampire spawn. Let me see here real quick. Is going to come over to Lowin.
Hello.
Is going to do a bite.
No,
Oh,
we gotta get you a neck guard.
yeah, no,
The
Corset
goblinoid
collar.
gorget.
yeah. I didn't
yeah.
drink my potion yet because I was like because we were
Oh,
doing
shit,
pretty
I
well.
didn't
So
either.
oh well, I still got plenty of hit points. I'll be all right.
She's out of range now. Or he's out of range.
Yeah, she can be beaten up now.
Chug.
If they can beat you up, you can beat them up.
Dude,
I live to be beaten up.
you take.
Kinky.
I have learned something about Inisalia.
You guys making inappropriate jokes out there?
What did you like to know?
Yes, but I'm hiding down here.
15 necrotic.
That they hit my AC 18.
Oh yeah, she rolled natural 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh boy! I kind of very much regret not taking any of the potions now.
So your maximum hit points is reduced by that.
So you said to 18.
Yeah. And you also take 7 piercing.
Okay. Damage and my max is down by that much,
Oofa-doofa.
which is weird because it's at +5. So I'm actually
Yeah,
making it
she just
13.
so she comes at you
Ooh.
and just like launches at you and said, "I've heard great reviews." Like he's like, and she's like digging into your neck, blood like the black blood coming out. She's like, 5 stars. Okay, and it is Talantha's go.
All right.
He agrees.
I think Talantha is raring to go, and she's going to.
Remember up the that's right. Okay.
Okay, I'm just making sure she doesn't have armor that makes her slow or whatever.
No,
So,
armor generally doesn't do that.
3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's how far she can get from there. Normally, so I guess she's just gonna climb up, and I think. Let's see.
Double move.
Yeah, and I think what she's gonna do, since she can't really like fight anything, I feel like she's the one most pissed about this.
Oh, yeah,
and I think
real
she's
pissed
gonna
off.
she's gonna pace in front of that fucking wall and be like, in her voice, whatever she would say, basically, probably, I don't know. What did she say, Scott? Something along the lines of, "I'm gonna eat your face." I don't.
To harken back to how old I am, and remember, ask your grandparents about this one. Of kind of like Darth Maul in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
By the way, I think go ahead and I screwed up the distance. Go ahead and give Grand Troop those 15 hit points back.
Oh, okay.
Because I actually should be. I can be there, but it would have cost me my double move.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay.
But I have that spell slot back.
Okay, so she's just not going to be able to do anything right now?
Well, I mean, she has to use her double move, and she also can't go through the wall, I assume.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, she's.
Right. So I think she's literally just waiting for the signal to be like, "I'm gonna eat your fucking face."
Okay. Hobor is going to cast a spell.
Wizzy will counterspell.
Okay. He's going to have to counterspell 9th level.
It's
All right,
possible.
It's
possible.
The DC equals 10 plus so that's a 19. He's got to hit. Because it's spell make an ability check against. Okay, it's an ability check. Okay.
The old intelligence.
Oh, it's an ability check, is it?
Mhm.
He's got guidance on him right now.
Okay.
Boop, boop, boop. Wait. How do I got to figure out how to do this.
How does he have guidance?
I cast it on him because he was going to go up and do the arcane thing, but he didn't need it. So he didn't use it.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Where is... Okay, I'm just going to roll his intelligence, and I'll add his proficiency modifier, which I believe is 3. What I roll? I can't see. No, he got a 9. I doubt. No, guidance won't even help him on that.
I ain't gonna do it.
Nope. He does not counterspell it.
Okay. I have to do some things real quick, so just chill out.
It's a level 9 spell. We understand.
He says, I wish.
That means it's a pretty big guy, right?
Hang on. Wall of Force is concentration.
Well, he may not be casting a concentration.
He's not casting a concentration spell.
But doesn't that mean that he can't cast another spell? If he's
No,
got
he
something
cannot
up?
cast another concentration spell.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or it
Sorry.
will cancel out the previous concentration spell.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yep.
But to be fair, he's gotten hit twice, so I will make Constitution saves.
Yes, he does need to make those. He
Oh.
made concentration checks.
He made
because
both of
he's
them.
gotten hit multiple times.
Okay.
Son of a gun.
But he did make both of them.
It's fine.
Can Rynford use his reaction to counterspell?
He may try, yes. He hasn't done a reaction yet.
I'm gonna try that. What's the roll?
It is it's a spellcasting ability check, so it's basically for you, it's your intelligence plus your proficiency modifier against his DC of 19.
Are you sure it includes this proficiency modifier?
Yeah, it's a spellcasting ability. It's an ability check. I will double. I was like, it says, if it's casting a spell of 4th level higher, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. And spellcasting ability, I believe, is based on your because that's your ability modifier. Yeah, spellcasting ability total is your proficiency plus
Okay, cool.
proficiency.
So my intelligence modifier is +4. My proficiency is +3. That means that I roll a d20 +7.
And you gotta get a 19.
I believe in the heart of the cards. I'm going to spend my inspiration.
It's the good time to do it.
Oh well, I can do it.
I continue to believe in the heart of the cards. 19.
He counterspells it.
Oh, he counters the counterspell.
He counters the counterspell.
Wait, no, he counterspelled already. Oh, but it is a new turn though.
Yeah, it's the beginning of his turn.
Yeah.
So his reaction resets,
Fair.
and you can use reactions
Right.
on your turn.
Right. Get refreshed at the start of his turn. Ooh,
Correct.
boy. Here we go.
Ooh, yeah.
Here we go.
Tactics, man.
Boy. Back to 4th edition, immediate interrupts. Oh, boy. The immediate interrupt train.
Well, now he has to roll, doesn't he?
No,
No.
because you cast that as a level 3. He casts it at a level 3. It immediately snuffs yours out.
Gotcha.
Because you cast counterspell on a level 3 or lower, it automatically snuffs it out. There is no roll.
Real tall ride.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
If you can cast at a higher level, you can auto cancel lower ones than that. But Wizzy and you couldn't obviously get that high. So
Well, Augury said this was going to be a tough one.
Europe. Well, this is a very brutally fast one because we kind of racked up body count, but he is once he got his footing, it's going to be a little dicey.
Very much.
Spellcasting rules. Change components.
You guys can see these dudes, but I don't mind.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I had a feeling that he was going to have more reinforcements.
Poor dudes.
This
yeah.
was going to be way too easy.
He's burning a shit ton of spell slots, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually,
Phase
this guy
2.
back here. This guy back here. Move him there. Okay. I need Wizzy Lowin, Inisalia, and Rynford to make con saves for me, please.
Okay. Here's Wizzy's. 15.
Oh,
Nat 20 for a total of 22.
Nice.
let me use my inspiration. Oh. 11. It's actually better.
You're trying to hit 19 here, by the way.
I succeeded with a 23. Thank you very much.
All right.
What about
I'm feeling
Wizzy?
so good.
Wizzy failed. He got a 15 though. Wizzy didn't do bad. He just rolled terribly.
Oh, I know that feel.
And I think there's no way for me to conceal this amount of damage from you all on the roll 20.
You know, feel free to just
No,
let
no,
us.
it's okay.
Let
We
us
need
see.
we need
Let
to
us see
feel
this.
this. Yeah.
'Cause
Okay.
I'm an idiot for not. I'm down.
Oh boy.
How
Is
much
that half
damage is it?
damage? Is it half damage?
It is half damage if you save.
How much damage is that?
Wizzy's down.
48 damage.
All right, let me look at Wizzy.
Okay.
Wizzy is definitely down.
For 4, 5, 6,
I am
I am just up.
I am at literally 0.
Hmm.
Which I believe means I am still conscious.
No.
No, I'm conscious. Fuck. I really should.
If you're not 1, you're a 0, son.
I'm really happy.
To be on a good note, the vampire spawn bites it.
What
Nice.
was that? What
Yeah.
spell was that?
Cone of cold.
Oh yeah, okay.
Ooh.
Oh,
makes-
yeah, that
makes sense.
definitely. Wait. Yeah, that definitely fucks with me.
Yeah, he cast time sport, time stop, teleported in a bunch of. Hold on, let me
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
reveal some.
Did
For
he
the
just
audience at home.
Zawarudo us?
Yes.
Well, great.
Hold on.
No, I haven't got to experience a good time stop in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, you
Unintended.
can't cast a whole bunch of like attack spells.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
What?
that's fine.
I just like I am at 1, and it's only because we did the aid earlier.
Yep.
That's
Nice.
the only reason I'm standing.
I got 8 hit points, man. I'm a wizard. I'm high on the hog.
Okay.
I'm
Um,
3.
All right.
So what
that's
did
his
he
go.
did time stop?
Teleport.
Mm-hmm.
Brought in to bring in his dudes, and then got in position and cone of cold you guys,
Gotcha.
and that ended his time stop.
Yep.
All right. These one of the will-o-wisps who just showed up.
Hmm.
One of them is going to do a thing. All right, it's going to make a spell attack on Inisalia.
Oh no.
What's your AC?
20.
20. It hits. It does 9 lightning damage to you.
No.
I am down.
Damn.
Okay.
Doofa.
The next will-o-wisp. Hold on, cow. Wait. Is going to come over here. Hold on, let me add these guys. I need to add these guys to the initiative.
Enough.
Is going to do the same thing at Rynford.
Cool.
What is your AC?
16.
It does 9 lightning damage to you.
I am down.
Okay.
It'll be Avengers.
Hot damn.
Letting the Archmage get a turn is not a good idea.
We tried, man.
Yeah.
You did real well. Wizzy needs to make a death save.
Death save for 1. Wizzy whiz. Roll a fat d20. That is a failure.
Okay.
He's got 1 failure.
Ilbreyan.
I think Ilby's like things suddenly got real quiet and yet not quiet.
Yeah.
Is everyone okay up there?
There is a sudden cacophony of noise and screams and magical sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And for a moment, you have a vision. You see exactly what happened up there. And you once again see the list of fiends at your disposal.
Ilby's looking. Yeah, he sees exactly what happened, what everyone's doing.
You saw not only did you
yeah.
see everything that happened, you saw everything that happened in the time stop as it happened.
Mm.
So you just saw Hober just sort of snap his fingers in a somatic gesture, just sort of casually stroll around, summon, teleport in a horde of undead, of shadows and zombies and will-o-wisps, and then just sort of casually place himself. He pulled out a little ruler,
Oh, dick.
lined it up so that he would have, just sort of patted his little vampire on the head, and then unleashed a blast of cold, and you saw these will-o-wisps just take down Inisalia and Rynford.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it all play out exactly as it happened.
Then Ilby will choke in his throat for a second, and then he'll then go, "Promise me you won't let the gnome get away." You give him to us, and I'll sign.
Then so mote it be.
All right. And then I think after...
And
Yeah, go ahead.
mechanically speaking,
Mhm.
you are under a geas. The next truly compromising piece of information that you discover about Omen Drawn,
Mm-hmm.
you must deliver to Asmodeus.
Okay. And then I think I would like a moment where Ilby just goes upstairs. He goes up the stairs. Is it stairs actually instead of a ladder, or is it actually
It's a ladder, yeah.
Ladder.
He's going to just go up the ladder deliberately.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just going to stand up, kind of looking at the creatures all in front of him, the zombies that are moaning, and then how does our dear friend Huber look right now?
He doesn't look
What I mean by that, what is he doing? What is he? Is he just patiently waiting?
he is sort of standing back, fingers steepled. He looks like he's
Mm-hmm.
got a hand on a pouch, probably pulling out a healing potion.
And
But he's just watching everything because there's no one up here that he doesn't control. Everyone else is dead.
Right. Well, it's a Talantha.
No, Talantha is up there.
And she was outside the blast, right?
Yeah, she was outside of the Cone of Cold.
Cool. He is going to just merely get up and look at everything. And then he's going to say to Huber, there's one thing you didn't count on.
And what could that possibly be?
How desperate I am to kill you. And then he's just going to hold his hands up. Now! And he's going to wait.
Portal, untouched by his necromantic magic, flares open with an infernal sigh as the heat of Avernus pours out onto the top of this tower. And a small horde of devils swarm out, engage with the undead in a fierce but brief battle. A chain devil, a bearded devil, and a succubus descend upon Hober, quickly overwhelming his defenses. They use their own spells. A lucky one gets through and drops his wall of force, and he is wrapped in these barbed infernal chains, unconscious but still around. And
All right.
with only Talantha to witness this, she is just sort of looking at you. And she says, What did you do? And she's like
Doesn't
looking
matter.
at the imps and the other fiends that are just tearing at the dead zombie corpses.
Talantha, you will speak nothing of this to anyone. Do you understand? Otherwise, I have them kill you now. Do you understand?
I get to kill him.
That's why I kept him alive. And he merely just holds his hand out.
And she says, well, then you better get rid of them before I start waking them up.
Once everyone is dead, once they are all dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
it ends
Yeah.
very quickly. Like one of the
Yeah.
will-o-wisps just like shoots out into the night. But that's the only survivor.
All right. And yes, he will say, when you are all done, leave momentarily, and then you may have what you wish.
Yeah, they leave. The last one to leave is the succubus, and she says, we should talk about the tower because this was actually a pretty profitable endeavor. But I'll go.
Well, yes, later.
Later, but I'll call.
Okay.
And she steps through the portal, and the infernal portal closes. And Talantha begins to use her lay on hands to bring everyone back up. And you guys you guys come into consciousness to a scene of utter carnage.
Okay. I'm assuming we didn't have to make death saves then?
No, you didn't. You did not have to make death saves.
Okay.
But the price was you didn't get to see any of that.
That's fair.
Okay.
And you see, amongst the carnage, Hober is wrapped in these gnarly-looking chains, quite unconscious, amidst the carnage.
He will. Everyone.
Go team?
Everyone. Ilby. Rynford, Inisalia, and myself get 5 hit points back.
Okay.
And then I'll start healing people.
Are you all okay?
Yeah.
He looks around and then
What?
looks to Talantha.
It's a good thing that I was able to kill him I was able to knock him out in the last moment. He lost control of his creatures and they ate each other alive.
That is an insight check, my friend.
It most certainly is.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Yeah. If anyone who would like to make an insight roll against a deception roll from Ilby.
Yeah.
I'm going to burn my inspiration.
That's a 7.
At a 20.
18.
Not enough.
Oh.
All right.
Whoa.
Go Ilby.
What'd you get?
Well, he's a
I
motherfucker.
got a 25.
Holy
Nice.
crap.
Nice.
Yeah, always trust the Warlock. Wow.
And then basically as he's doing that, like he comes over to Talantha and says, I didn't kill him for you. Whatever you want. He did this to you. As long as he's dead.
She goes over to Wizzy and says, let's do it together. And unless anyone stops the two of them, they proceed to stab and strangle Hober's unconscious body to death.
I probably leave because I didn't sign up necessarily for an execution.
I pull out the book from him, and then I give it to Rynford.
Inisalia, you get 18 hit points back.
Okay.
And I think Ilby's going to go back to the ship and not really talk to anyone.
Yeah.
Inisalia, that was a lot rougher than I was expecting.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm really
I
glad.
should have drank that potion. I was an idiot.
I forgot mine too.
No, I was like, oh, well, it'll be fine. We're doing real well.
I'm real happy he lost control, because... Yikes.
Scott, there is still something bugging Lowin, even though he's like, hey, he doesn't mean he's like, where'd the chains come from?
That's a very good question.
Could I have made like a religion check, a history check?
You
What
can
kind of
make
check
a religion check at disadvantage.
Guidance, 'cause
This particular brand of hell chains, you see,
It
comes from
these come from Lowe's.
yeah.
These come from Lower's Pit of Hell.
Yeah,
the
it's the off-brand. It's like the great value brand of chain.
Would that be a hell center rather than a home center?
You really need to get the ones from Home Despot.
That sucked. That was a solid 10.
They just look like nasty looking chains.
Okay. I don't know. Ow. All right.
Could I do an Arcana check to do a similar attempt?
Sure,
at
yeah,
IDing?
it'll be a disadvantage, but you can do
Okay.
so.
Wow, 12.
Nasty looking chains.
Hey, well, I think I have some old whiskey on the back on the ship.
I'll take that. That'd be great.
Yeah. It's been aging for a while.
I'm going to loot the absolute shit out of.
Yeah, I was hoping. To
Oh
Igor's,
yeah, wait.
corpse.
Okay. I will get back to you on what loot you get from him. Yeah,
But do we at least have the book?
you do have the book. It's a little
Cool.
worse for wear, little bloody, little tattered, but you are able to flip through the pages where you have the reference note from where this would be, and you see the details of the ritual.
Excellent.
You'll probably need to get some rare herbs, but you know a pair of elven sisters who are quite skilled at the herb trade.
Indeed, we do.
So with that, we're going to go ahead and call it for the evening. That was a bit intense.
It was.
Yup.
Yeah, that wasn't going to go well for you.
We probably could have pulled it out at the very end with the NPC's help.
With the NPC, with 3 of you down, that
was pretty rough.
yeah.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
But Wizards, man, they're no fucking business. But anyway, thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys all out there for watching.
Yeah.
I want to give a big shout out to my patrons who support the show. Especially my $5 patrons, Miss Abby Peterson, Miss Mo Ferrer, Mr. David Haddad, Mr. Michael Tyson, Mr. Eric Ramos. You have purchased my love, as it is a transaction that we do in this terrible society. If you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Simulacra Studios. That is the best way to become a patron. And there's some really good stuff coming down the pipe for patrons. Anyone have anything they want to say out to the world of the future?
Oh, the world of the future. I hope it's better than right now.
I do as well.
Yeah, depending on the timing, please make sure that you are register to vote, and please go vote for the love of God.
Please.
Put in that mail-in application.
Yeah, I
It
think
doesn't-
this might be coming out after the election, but
Okay.
Oh,
I
wow.
hope you
Well,
will have voted.
Hopefully you
Well,
voted then.
Well, it doesn't end there.
It does
How
not
about
end
that?
there.
That is true.
Absolutely.
Something in there.
It does not.
Whomsoever holds office needs to have their fate kept to the fire. It just depends whether it's like a nice little campfire or the fires of Mount Doom.
Fires mode.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. We're going to head out.
See you next time.
Nice.
See y'all.
Right.
Say bye.